You were not re-elected, you selected yourself, and everybody saw it unfold. Falz tackles Babajide Sanwo Olu as he thanked Nigerians for re-electing him as governor of the state. Hello everyone, welcome to Newsport TV. The 18th of March 2023 has come and gone, and the governorship elections that were to take place in almost all the states in Nigeria did take place, but not without some record-making events that is still being discussed online and offline and might determine the trajectory of how elections will be done in Nigeria. In Lagos State, the contenders were the incumbent governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo Olu of the APC. We also had Gbadebo Rhodes Vival of the Labour Party. We also have Abdulaziz Adediran, popularly known as Jandor, for the PDP, and also another gentleman, Doherty, who is the fourth person who contested. But Lagos was one of those states that had so many things going on for it in terms of the qualities of the candidates that were there, in terms of the antecedents, and different cards played out. Some more prominent that had ever been before. One is the tribalism that was brought to the fore, and which has led to heated discussions, which also translated offline to some unpleasant events that happened in places like in Lagos. Like we had the Agor Palaswe Okota area of Lagos, where a thug allegedly was, shot. And we also had a breakout of chaos in Abule Osun area of Lagos as well. Now, there were also videos of people who got injured at some point in their polling units, and all these were shared online. Some we had a worst edition of MC Oluomo, who came out to threaten Igbos in the video that was online to say that if you're not going to vote for APC, sit down in your house, and if you vote for Igbo, this is what is going to happen, which were very inciting statements. He actually came out later to, should we say, debunk what he has said, that was not how he meant it, that he was referring to a particular Y0U that he mentioned in the video. So a lot of drama twist happened as far as Lagos State election was concerned. However, Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu was re-elected as well. From the record, he won the election. One thing that was notable is the fact that we saw talks in different videos who threatened people who walked along the street, telling them that, they had better vote for APC or go back to their houses. We had videos of people who had injuries, like I said earlier, and all of that, which led to voters' apathy like we did not have in the presidential election. The presidential election in Lagos had a massive turnout of voters, but that number, unfortunately, reduced during the governorship election. A lot of people have talked about the fact that how come we are in this state of electoral process in 2023 in Nigeria, and how come, we have taken democracy, and one of the tenets of democracy is the ability to have a free and fair election where sanity will reign and almost none or minimal kind of thuggery and all of that. But that cannot be said of the governorship election that was held in Lagos State, if truth must be told. Now, one of those people who have always stood up to the government of the day, especially when we had NSAS, was Folarin Falana, popularly known as Falz, the lawyer, musician, entrepreneur, and brand influencer, and now a human rights activist. Is someone who has always shared his thought online. Remember, during the presidential election, Falz's polling units, had thugs who came around. He did a video, and he was shortly arrested for a few hours and his 2 phones taken away from him. But he later said he was released and his phones were released, and all of that. So this is one person who is not just talking from the corner of his room, is always coming out to, vote and all of that. So when Babajide Sanwo Olu decided to come out to talk to Nigerians and appreciate them, for voting him in his victory at the election, Falz decided to come out to say, Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu, you were not re-elected, you were selected. Now let's take some comments. Somebody said, did you all see how young youth were elected as governors in the north? But in the south, they used divide and conquer to mess all the fights you all fought that cost the lives of your fellow compatriots. God bless you, Falz, for being so exceptional. Another said, say what you may, I have tremendous respect for this guy. Y0U, and a host of others. If you place tribal bigotry over the sufferings you have endured for the past 8 years under the watchful eyes of Jide Sanwo Olu, then you are complicit. I pray your sufferings continue, since all that you can do is to keep suffering due to tribalism. Another said, even the unborn knows this. Sanwo Olu learned probably from his boss. Another said, the kind of boldness some Yoruba have to speak the truth despite the outcome is top-notch. So let the Igbos calm down. Not all Yoruba are in support of what happened. The funny thing is that these politicians will not pick most of these Y0U calls again till after 4 years because they have nothing to offer. So now use and dumb. Another said, last, there are people who are exposed, civilized, and in accordance with open oneness, coupled with the fact that I really do have nice Yoruba as friends. So when I tend to respond and reduce myself to the level of the tribal ones, I just remember people like Falz and the lovely ones I have in my life, so I let go. Another said, even as I'm not in support of his party, the cocoa be this, he's still the governor, and we need to accept the fact because there's nothing we can do about it. Another person said, the fact that majority of Nigerians are just looking hopelessly, not knowing what to do or even how to complain about what's happening, that's the part that even breaks my heart more. Like, imagine how people suffered to get PVC and all. Many made huge sacrifice and all, and then INEC and APC is doing all this to poor innocent Nigerians. Like, is Nigeria ever going to get better again self? Another person said, there's no democracy in Nigeria. Next 4 years, even if no soul comes out to vote, INEC will forge numbers for who they want. Another said, I think the narrative that GRV is not an indigenous Lagosian worked for Sanwo Olu too. We have a long way to go in this country. Another said, he usurped the instrument of states to impose himself as governor, just like his godfather. He will struggle to legitimize his second tenure. The damage has been done. Will the tribunal save the situation? Only time will tell. Another said, he might have not been elected, but do you have any other better choice than Sanwo Olu? Another commenter said, people keep saying APC caused this division between Yorubas and Igbos. Now, Sanwo Olu also possessed your so-called candidate to be saying rubbish on media to lose Yoruba support. Another said, when GRV was calling some funny acts typical of Oja behavior, they don't see that too. Another person said, the most annoying thing about these 2023 elections is that we are back to ground zero. PVC is now more useless than ever. Thuggery have returned at the highest level, and the most worrying part is that a good percentage of the so-called youths are very much okay and happy with the process because they feel the outcome tickles their fancy. Another said, clearly selection, not election at all. To everyone discouraged at the moment, I urge you not to mess up your mental health for the Nigerian situation. Get your butt up again, continue to hustle, but also smartly. No one will help you. You are the help you're looking for because in Nigeria, it's all man for themselves. If you know that age is still in your favor and Nigeria is not getting you close to where you believe you should be intellectually, employment-wise with ridiculous low wage or salary, and you don't have rich parents or family, try your feet abroad. Japa. Don't listen to naysayers because when the ship is down, they will still be the one to badmouth you. Abi no be that same Nigerian people with negative and demeaning mindset. Apply for scholarships abroad or cheap tuition fee universities in the UK. In Europe, not necessarily UK, US, Canada, Australia, which are ridiculously expensive and not for financial struggling youths with low income savings. You can do well in the other countries of the world too by planning well. Just give your hustle 4 to 5 years and you'll be marveled at your successes in all spheres and financially. You can study and work full hours and be sure of a permanent residency after study in such European countries. Scholarships brought a lot of people abroad because I was frustrated in Nigeria, but today I am grateful to God. Another person said, Falz's statement just shows he's pained. Despite you and Mr. Macaroni antagonizing him, he still won with wide margin. People voted for him because they believe in him than your masked IPOB apologist candidate. If it's easy, let your father go and contest and win any election in Ekiti State. Another said, this Falz is a true, unbiased Nigerian Yoruba man, well educated with wisdom and intelligence. Another person said, Falz, the African giant, is among the few celebrities we know the hungry, no be aslika, and may God continue to bless and guide you. Amen. Another said, honestly, if you think Falz is not getting it right, just remember that this young man has stood up for the youth all through NSAS protest. He really wants this government that deleted a lot of youth off the seat, but it's unfortunate that most Yorubas were deceived to still vote despite all due to tribalism. So you guys will realize what you brought upon yourself. The fight for the betterment of Nigeria is not about Igbo people, but you guys allowed your oppressors to use it against you guys. So let's just stop there. The comments are quite much. But what we would just say at this point is we need to let peace reign in Nigeria. We need to stop fanning the embers of tribalism and bigotry. We do not need that. Nigeria is ours. And what we should do is to try and work together. Anybody who has found himself or herself in a position, elected or appointed, should be held accountable to deliver the deliverance of democracy. It is obvious now that it's not business as usual. Thank you so much for watching. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. To our new subscribers, thank you so much for joining. And to our existing subscriber, thank you so much for always stopping by. May God bless Nigeria. See you in the next news. Bye for now.